Ghana's expediency to invest 250 million cedis in another head office building at Ridge.
We in the NDC will continue to explore ways of rescuing this country to prevent it from the doom that has befallen several West African countries. Let me assure you that very soon Ghanaians will be made to pay for Bank of Ghana recapitalization levy, a tax to recapitalize the Bank of Ghana. So as we speak, because the central bank has collapsed virtually. It is, however, our position that we have so recklessly, the government of Ghana has so recklessly mismanaged the central bank and brought it to its knees and cannot remain at the helm of affairs of the bank without being held accountable. The march to ensure accountability will begin in 21 days if the governor of the Bank of Ghana does not do the needful and pack bag and baggages out of that sacred institution that he has unfortunately mismanaged. Dr. Ernest Addison and his deputies must go. Let us get a new governor and let that governor come in and learn that the predecessor was pushed out for ABCD, so he will not go there. He has depleted Ghana's reserve to about 1 week of import cover. The finance minister informed us that even with the IMF money, additional drawdown from the IMF, by the end of the year, Ghana's net international reserve will be about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Is this the governor we want to keep in office?
Away from the NDC press conference, the Africa Bar Association has conferred a Medal of Merit in Leadership Award on President Akufo-Addo at its 2023 annual conference in Pretoria, South Africa. In a citation, the president of the association, Hannibal Egbe-Uwafo, described President Akufo-Addo as a Pan-Africanist, anti-corruption crusader, a rare democratic leader in the field of good governance, a true African statesman whose legacies present African leaders must emulate, and we're minded to say it will stand the test of time.
It is 52 years now when President Akufo-Addo was called to the English Bar Middle Temple in July 1971, but it was until 4 years later that he started plying his trade in Ghana and Paris, France. He co-founded his own law firm, Prempeh & Co. in 1979. And to the leadership of the African Bar Association, there was no better time to celebrate one of their own than this time, hence the conferment of Medal of Leadership Award on President Akufo-Addo.
You are a great man indeed, in all respects. You are a proud ambassador of the legal profession. We are remembering you for the struggles we saw you and your colleagues. Some of them have gone to join their creators, but they are alive by the special grace of God, and we're proud of your achievements in the Republic of Ghana.
Thanking the African Bar Association for the award, the president stated that the legal profession has a rarefied position in African societies and lawyers are assured of a special status.
In all our countries, it must be a source of pride for us that lawyers were in the forefront of the fight for liberation from colonialism and imperialism. Indeed, since independence, lawyers have moved seamlessly between politics and the legal profession. Whereas we can say that we have a lot to be proud of in the role played by lawyers in trying to promote democracy in our countries, it is also true that we have not always done ourselves proud. But that is a matter for another day.
The African Continental Free Trade Area was high on the agenda of the Pretoria Conference, where President Akufo-Addo, under whose watch Ghana had the privilege to host the continental body, said intra-African trade hold the key to developing Africa's vast economic and material resources.
The emergence of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, in which trading began in January and more specifically in October 2022, and in whose secretariat is Ghana's privileged to host, represents a historic opportunity for Africa to strengthen immeasurably intra-African trade as a powerful avenue for developing Africa's vast economic and material potential. As the adage goes, there is strength in unity, and for all 54 member states of the African Union, our strength lies with our numbers.
The African Bar Association Conference is an opportunity for judges, lawyers, politicians, the business community and experts from all fields to gather, discuss and think solutions to the myriads of challenges confronting Africa, especially transparent, good governance, security and the rule of law. But the Pretoria Conference is being held at a time that the rule of law, which is the fulcrum of democracy where lawyers' role is indispensable, is being undermined in some part of West Africa, such as Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea and Niger. Edward Nyakum, reporting for GBC News.
Now, the Ghana Journalists Association, GJA's current administration has marked its first anniversary in office in Accra yesterday. It organized a forum with a focus on the urgency for media practitioners to be innovative with the advent of media technologies driven by social media journalism. All speakers highlighted threats posed by social media, which is increasingly becoming dominant due to the proliferation of media channels under a weak regulatory system.
They tabled issues bordering on attacks on journalists, poor remuneration and lack of media independence, among other concerns relating to the welfare of journalists. It basically was to measure current trends in Ghana's media landscape. The Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, who spoke on new media versus traditional media, issues of ethics and professionalism, said information disturbance in the media space is on the rise due to emerging media techniques that do not allow the public to discern between mainstream and social media journalism. This trend, he says, affects the professional practice of journalism.
The new media ecosystem has brought about a phenomenon of weaponization of information. Fake news has higher virality than truthful news. In fact, the more fake the story is, the more it will gather eyeballs and clicks. These are developments that make nonsense of the professional values of ethics of journalism. The question that stares us in the face is, how do we protect journalism as a professional practice that will continue to function as an institution of democracy and development.
A law lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, Mr. Albert Kwashiga, cited Section 208 of Ghana's Criminal Code as an area that needs critical attention, especially on the rights and freedoms of the media.
It would be good to relook at some of these laws again, even if we have to take them out or rewrite them in a way that gives a better safeguard to journalists. It is something that we have to look at.
The current executives of the GJA have already cleared the first year in their tenure, and the association continues to make strides in creating an enabling working environment for practitioners to operate. Areas including the refurbishment of the Ghana International Press Center, launch of the Journalists Support Fund, and the bid to host the 3rd Africa Media Convention in May 2024 are some of the initiatives to increase participation of journalists in GJA activities. Mr. Albert Jumfo presides over the GJA.
One of the achievements that is certainly bigger than modest and which we feel very proud trumpeting is our successful bid to host the 3rd African Media Convention in May 2024. The GJA, with the support of the government and UNESCO, won the bid to host the event during the last African Media Convention held in Lusaka, Zambia, last May. As the biggest gathering of the media fraternity in Africa, supported by the African Union and UNESCO, the convention will lead hundreds of participants from Africa and across the world to Accra next year, which will also mark the 60th anniversary of the AU and 75th anniversary of the Ghana Journalists Association.
There were many seasoned journalists and other players in the media fraternity at the first or paper anniversary, a symbol of strength, connections and new beginnings.
Let's do education. The Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, has awarded new scholarships to 4,279 students from various universities and colleges in the country. This time, more scholarships were awarded to applicants studying in local universities and colleges. This is a major shift from previous years when GET Fund scholarships were awarded in favor of Ghanaian students studying abroad. The number of successful applicants for 2023 is 63% higher than the 2,704 recipients for last year.
The GET Fund has so far paid 25.3 million Ghana cedis of the annual fees on behalf of the awardees enrolled in undergraduate, graduate and postgraduate programs of various universities. Those pursuing diploma or degree programs are 2,951, with 1,328 beneficiaries in Masters and Doctor of Philosophy PhD programs in both private and public universities and colleges all in the country. GET Fund says 1,963 students, representing 46% of awardees, were studying science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM-related programs, while 2,316, representing 54%, were pursuing the humanities. GET Fund had migrated its scholarship application process online to replace the physical processes. The Secretariat says the full online system introduced to replace the manual one is part of its plan towards the digitalization agenda of the government. The GET Fund received 22,000 applicants when it advertised in December last year, inviting prospective applicants to apply the local scholarships via its online portal. It says the overwhelming show of interest in the scholarships prompted the Board of Trustees of the fund to increase the available slots, leading to the higher number of recipients.
Let's go to the Central Region and look at Galamsey. In the Upper Denkyira East Municipality of the region, illegal mining remains a preference for the youth, especially students, and this has had an impact on students' attendance and performance in the elementary and junior high schools. The Upper Denkyira East Municipality's Director of Education, Mr. Anthony Techi, disclosed this at a forum organized by Denkyira Man Radio in collaboration with the Minerals Income Investment Fund at Dunkwafin in the Central Region.
A forum was to discuss and consider better mining solutions in the community. A major challenge identified was the involvement of children of school-going ages in illegal mining to the detriment of their education. The participants also noted that the youth in these mining communities valued galamsey or illegal mining more than education.
The concept of you dropping out from school to go and mine is not the best. I mean, you can come to school, when you are done, you go back into a mining business with skills, because when you are in the school, they teach you, you know how to do responsible mining.
The mining, when it comes to the community, affects the enrollment in our basic schools, and so we want to appeal to parents, we want to appeal to all stakeholders that we should encourage our children to go to school.
The Director of Education in Upper Denkyira East, Mr. Anthony Techi, says statistics showed exceptionally high levels of student performance and attendance, but due to their passion for money, some pupils leave the classrooms to the mining sites to work.
Some communities are actually losing most of the young people who attend school. They drop out of school to engage in galamsey, and the effect is that enrollment continues to dwindle in some of these schools. And others are also getting income. So because of that, education has not become a priority now.
A participant, Nilaye Gandama Sowa, a member of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, blamed the traditional authorities and politicians for the galamsey menace in the nation.
I don't see the problem as the problem of the youth. Because who are the owners of the excavators? Is it the small girls and boys who are get drawn in our water bodies? No. Who are the owners of the excavators? Those are the people that we have to hold responsible for whatever mishap that continue to engulf this country in the various mining regions.
The vice chairman of the Dunkwa District Small Scale Miners Association urged all to work together to stop illegal mining.
Fighting illegal activities is not scientific. If it is, I think we would have conquered this fight already. But it's practical. Just imagine the Operation Vanguard and HOT will be coming to Dunkwa. When they go back, you could see that the Galamsey people will also go back. But we, the small scale miners, is 24/7. We are always in the bush with them. So if we get support from the municipal chief executive, to which our brave is ready for that, we will get there.
Away from the central region, let's look at security in the capital. It was in the spirit of communal labor that residents of East Kwabenya in Accra raised funds to complete construction work on a stalled police station. For residents, a police station will increase police visibility in the community and help address the numerous security challenges there.
In 2018, a gang of suspected robbers attacked the Kwabenya police station, killed one police officer and freed 7 cell inmates. This incident and many others in the municipality remains a worry to residents. For 13 years, police personnel deployed to maintain law and order at East Kwabenya worked from a container police post. But the deterioration of the container led to its closure in 2007 and subsequent withdrawal of personnel. Since then, residents relied on the Ashoman police station. In 2022, the sod was cut for the construction of a modern police station with seed money of 50,000 Ghana cedis from the Ghana East Municipal Assembly. The project, which is 40% complete, has stalled for some time due to inadequate funds. Members of the East Kwabenya Residents Association have mobilized funds from levies, contributions and donations for construction work to continue. At a fundraising by the association, its vice president, Mr. Chris Bachman, said they expect to raise 200,000 cedis to complete the project in the next 6 months.
As I speak, we have gotten to about 40% completion, but it's sad to note that the process has come to a standstill, all because of lack of funds. So the occasion today is to raise funds so that we can complete and commission the new and modern police post.
A Deputy Minister for Education, Mr. John Ntim Fodjo, commended the residents for their communal efforts. He admitted that government cannot solely provide all infrastructural needs of every community. He therefore encouraged other communities to emulate the example of the East Kwabenya residents.
The project, when completed, will be a solution to security, not only for you and not only for the households that are gathered here, not only for the households that will contribute, but for everybody who's a resident here. All of us are going to have a safer place to dwell. What you're about to do is noble. What you have been doing is noble, and what you're going to continue to do is noble, and the Lord shall bless you.
The 350,000 cedis modern police station will have a charge office, interview room, as well as other offices, both male and female cells, armory, lobby, and a parking space, as well as a landscaping area.
From Kwabenya, let's do health and safety in the Ashanti region. The local government and rural development ministry has collaborated with the Offenso Municipal Assembly in the region and Zoom Lion to begin evacuating a refuse dump at Kayara, a farming community near Offenso in the Offenso South municipality of the Ashanti region. Residents say the dump site has for the past 32 years contributed to intermittent cholera outbreaks in the community.
Kayara refuse dump was a relief to residents after several requests to the Offenso Municipal Assembly for support. The people say the heap was a health threat to them. The site is also close to the Kayara Basic and Junior High School, where the pupils most often report of cholera, leading to occasional hospitalization. 4 similar sites are awaiting evacuation after approval from the authorities. Dodikro of Kayera Ohineba Wiafi Kakari and his Queen Mother Nanasewa Wiafi thanked government for the initiative. The Offenso South Municipal Chief Executive Mr. Kingsley Usuapia said refuse containers will be placed at the site and the people would have to pay a token for regular evacuation.
This community made us aware that all that they want from us is that they want us to evacuate this refuse dump for them. And today we are starting to evacuate this refuse dump.
The assemblyman for Kayera, Mr. Samuel Otin, asked residents to cooperate with the assembly to avoid accumulation of the refuse.
Yetu anamu bebre afa yebola kesi a wahayi so. Ai ne nyame adom onabo MC ewa ha onene dom ni Zoom Lion company ene Ghana aban ba be dom ya na me ne mpanimfo nananom ene memmanfo electoral area ha nyina aseda kese ene edema MC ene Zoom Lion ene Ghana aban.
From the Ashanti region, let's do some finance and revenue. From the 15th of August 2023, all stakers in sports betting and lotteries who win are required to pay 10% withholding tax on their gross wins. At a media forum in Accra, the Commissioner of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Mr. Edward Jambra, called for compliance, especially on the part of the betting and lottery companies from next week when the law kicks in.
In the 2023 budget, government proposed a tax on the gross gaming revenue that will replace the corporate income tax and VAT. According to the GRA, the nature of the gaming and betting transactions makes it difficult to implement VAT in its current form. To this end, the GRA has instructed all gaming companies and lotto companies to withhold 10% of winnings as taxes to the state.
For this, we expect each and everyone to comply. Those in the sport betting, those that are private lotto operators, those in casino operators, routers operators, remote interactive game operators, operators of marketing promotion, operators of other games of chance. If anyone wins, come first 15th of August, we expect that when you are making the payments, you would hold 10% and pay same to the Ghana Revenue.
The Commissioner of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Mr. Edward Jambra, mentioned that all companies that fail to comply will be sanctioned.
As you have been appointed as a withholding agent, the obligation is on you to withhold. And if you fail to do that, with the interaction that we've had with you and the support of the Gaming Commission, you can be assured that your license will be withdrawn. You can't stay in a country without complying with the tax laws. We need the revenue, we need the taxes to develop the country.
And to the international front, firefighters in Portugal are battling to contain wildfires engulfing thousands of hectares amid soaring temperatures. Around 800 personnel attended to the fire near the southern town of Odemira overnight on Monday, with more than 1,400 people having to evacuate. Now, at least 9 firefighters have been injured tackling the fires. Temperatures more than 40 degrees Celsius are expected to hit much of the Iberian Peninsula this week. Now, 3 major fires that scorched hundreds of hectares in Spain over the weekend have been brought under control, but weather alerts remain in place across much of the country. And on the coup in Niger, the junta leader, General Abdulrahman Chiani, has named the former finance minister as the new prime minister following the 27th July coup, Ali Mohammed Lamin Zaini replaces Mahamadou Uhumudu, who was in Europe during the coup. Now, Mr. Zaini, reported to be in his 50s, served as cabinet director and finance minister from 2001 until the overthrow of the late former president Mamadou Tanja by the army in 2010. His appointment was announced in a statement read on state-owned television channel Tele Sahel on Monday night by junta spokesperson. Mr. Zaini has worked for the African Development Bank in Chad, Ivory Coast and Gabon in recent years. Frederick Kuja, meteorologist, joins us on the phone line now with the weather updates. Good morning, Frederick.
Good morning, Malzi.
Still heading towards the end of the week. Yesterday, we did see a lot of cloudy weather conditions. What is our weather looking like today in Accra and across Ghana?
Well, a very good morning to all viewers. So for the next 24 hours, we expect variably cloudy weather to persist across the entire country, and then also with some chances of slight rain or drizzle, especially for southern Ghana. This morning in West Southern Ghana, some areas in the forest and then mountainous regions are having some mist and fog patches forming that is reducing visibility to a range between 3 kilometers to 8 kilometers. We advise that motorists will be cautious over these areas. Also, over the marine environment, we have some mist conditions forming over those areas as well. And then the sea waves are a bit rough for today, so we advise that fisher folks will be very, very cautious for the next 24 hours. Over the northern sector of the country, some isolated thunderstorms and then rainfall activities are expected from late afternoon into the evening. Temperatures generally across the entire country will range from 23 degrees Celsius to a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius.
All right, thank you so much, Frederick Kujo, for those updates. He did say the sea is rough, so fisher folk, please be cautious out there. But that's it for GTV Breakfast News. Get more news on our website at gbcghanaonline.com. But still stay with us, keep us company, because up next we're going to the BFS clinic and we're looking at glaucoma, which is a silent thief of sight. I've been wondering if it's the same as cataract, but the expert is in the studio. We'll bring that to you. Time with Minerals Commission is a Wednesday, and it's always fun on the show, so expect more. Stay with GTV Breakfast.